I want to know if you're leaving. I'm going to take RJ in this instance, and I want you to be Levi and tell us who, or if you're Levi, what your game plan is. Tell us your strategy for the weekend. What are you doing? I'm going to tell you mine after you tell me yours.
Yeah, Levi. Well, if I'm a Levi, what are you doing? I'm showing up. I'm doing my work throughout the week. Right. Exactly what has gotten me into this position.
No, right? No MX.
No. I mean, I don't. I think the MX at this point kind of helps maybe the mentality side of it. They're over Supercross, right? You're getting. I would always like, okay, I'm, towards the end of Supercross, I'm like, God, I'm just waiting for outdoors, and then towards the end of outdoors, I'm just waiting for Supercross.
Were you ever in a winner take all though? At the last round where you had
I think one of my 450 ones, I think I was potentially. I think it wasn't tied, but it was essentially I had to beat somebody to win. So during the week, I would just kind of keep the same. That's it's got you in this position for a reason. You're here for this reason, and it's worked. So that's what I would keep. I would keep the same. If that's implementing outdoors, great. If it's not, I'd keep the Supercross. But ultimately, I'd go to the races, and obviously, it's winner take all. Right, we're tied in
whoever
points,
wins. They both have 3 wins. They're tied.
Yep. So
what do you do?
You get a damn hole shot. That's what you do, and you ride the wheels off that bike, and you go for the win. I mean, as we're here,
or at least beat RJ.
I was going to say, as we're sitting here speculating.
No, but I want to know your plan. Yeah, so you keep everything.
My plan is to get the damn hole shot, and
do you put all the emphasis on that? Like, are you trying to what are you doing in practice? You trying to be P1? Like, are you like?
I think that the worst thing to try to do is to change up and try to implement something new in a scenario like this. 3 wins, like you said, tied in points. It's literally a winner take all scenario. So you need to do the thing that's most familiar to you, so that you're the most comfortable. Even at the truck, everybody treat him the same. Say this. Don't do anything different. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, hey, just because we're tied in points here, this, or hey, I think you need to get up and go on a 20-minute run this morning because it's championship day. No. Keep it the same, as we have our points up right now. 186 for RJ, 186 for Levi. And we have Jordan Smith with down 21 points. So pretty much, mathematically still in it, but out of it, it comes down to those two. But interesting, like you said, bringing up the RJ and the Levi, completely different, career trajectory at this point. Right. Yeah. You mentioned how well Levi has done from his not star days, but his first 2 years, and then all of a sudden coming out
completely different guy.
Then you have RJ, 31 years old. Also has had, a fairly inconsistent, I'll bring up San Diego, for example, trying too hard, trying to get those extra 2 points. It's hard, the pendulum to put, it's hard to figure out who, because you have Levi is kind of a not a rookie, but a first time in this position, and only his 3rd year. And then you have RJ, been in the class for a very long time, but also with his faults.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see who can handle this pressure the best, because it's going to come down to executing the start. Number one, that's where it's at. And as you know, you getting down, you're lining up. It's your first. It's each of their first championships ever.
Okay, let me ask you this though. So you got your game plan. You're doing everything the same during the week, everything the same. Yeah. Copy and paste at the race.
Yep.
You're going for the whole shot. You're putting the emphasis on that. What if RJ's behind you and you can't pull away?
You can't pull away.
Are you going into the deep where you get tight and then you just explode? Do you kind of ease over and let him by and then put the pressure on him if you can't crack him? What if I'm behind you?
Yeah.
I'm role playing you right now.
If I'm Ryan Villopoto in that scenario, I go into the deep and I push. But if I'm, because I know Levi better than I know some other kids, right? Because I've kind of So I feel like he's might be the person that's almost okay, well, I'm going to let him by, or not let him by, but if he passes me, and then I'm going to figure out where to pass him back, or run this thing down to, and then make a move on him. You know, like I'll only use that. I'm only smart enough now to do it, but I did that at the 2-stroke world championships at the Fast House race out at Glen Helen. I'm like, I was dog tired. I was sitting there 20 minutes in, or just about 20 minutes in. I'm running third. I'm like, dude, I want to finish on the podium, at least one moto. And I had a guy all over me, eating me up. And I'm like, I can't sustain this. So I let him by. And I'm like, okay, white flag's coming out in 2 laps. I'm going to make a run. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to make a run at him. And he ended up going down. But essentially that's what I was thinking. Like keep him there to where it's like, okay, I can make a run at him. Or do you just stick in that position and you hold it out and RJ makes a mistake?
I don't know.
Both of them are they're greenhorns in this scenario.
They are.
You know, even though RJ's been in the class for a very long time, fighting for this championship, being tied in this position, and also, you know, to take nothing away from him, does tend to make more mistakes.
He has slip ups.
Than maybe the average guy with his talent.
So if I'm RJ, I'm keeping everything the same during the week. I'm not riding outdoors.
Okay.
And the reason I say that's just me. Would I like to ride outdoors? Of course, but winner take all, like 06, I rode Supercross the whole week. I didn't even touch outdoors. And now we're watching, for you guys just tuning in on the on audio version, we're watching just some clips of RJ coming up through the pack. And I run all Supercross all week. And then I get there and I play a little bit of defense. And what I mean by that is I'm going to do everything I can to start on the inside of Levi. I do not want to let him on the inside of me, because I want to be on the inside to get the jump on him and have control. And if I don't get a good jump, at least I can be tucked right in behind him. I'm going to try to wear him down. I have more years under my belt. I don't want to be in front of him right off the bat. I'm going to follow him and try to force him into a mistake, kind of like when we were role playing, you would do the same to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, and then let the race come to him if he is behind. Obviously, if he gets to start, then go. You know,
exactly.
Then go. I think, and you put a little more emphasis on where the gnarly spots are on the track, and don't put yourself in a spot where you're going to lay it down. You are going to be a hero by not trying to be a hero. And if I'm RJ, that's what I'm doing. Playing a little bit of defense, riding Supercross all week, playing a little bit of defense, and just rising up when you need to. No mistakes. And again, if the wind's there, take it. If not, follow, and pounce at the last second.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.